Well, well, well. Two kings of the NBA world, two of the greatest players not only from this current era, but of all time. Steph Curry will begin with, the greatest shooter of all time, on the verge of potentially surpassing the so-called king of the NBA in championships with 5. Then there's LeBron James, the NBA's chosen one, 4 championships, 4 MVPs, and arguably the greatest player that this game has ever had to offer. At the age of 39, however, time's running out, and this could be his last chance of winning an NBA championship.
Oh, blocked by James!
When uncovering what this series really has to offer, we need to kind of look through the lens of these two players' history against each other briefly, because we know that there's a long-lived competitive but yet friendly rivalry, and it dates back to Steph and Curry's college days at Davidson.
Recycle, leaving Steph Curry. He got it away with 6. Amazing. Stephen Curry lights it up. LeBron's impressed with what he sees. 42 points, 2 away from tying a career high.
So it's clear LeBron's been aware of Steph's talent since his days in college. Then moving on to the two's journey in the NBA. We know LeBron went from Cleveland to Miami back to Cleveland as he won those 2 in Miami, and then he decided to repay the favor and come back to his home city and return to Cleveland as an attempt to bring a championship back to the city, and which he did. The only thing on LeBron James' legacy you can kind of point at and maybe make the case diminishing his stance to be the GOAT is his losing finals record. Steph, you can argue he's been robbed of that 2015 finals MVP going to Iguodala. With only having that one finals MVP last season against the Boston Celtics, to me, if he was to win another one this season, it'd establish him as the clear top 5 player ever. And to get there, he has to go through LeBron and the Lakers, which is got to be a tough task. And say if Steph and the Warriors were to eliminate this Los Angeles Lakers team, it could be potentially their last run at an NBA Finals appearance. And heck, I mean, what a way to go out, defeating LeBron James and Anthony Davis-led Lakers team, and getting past the Phoenix Suns. I mean, that would be crazy. You can't tell me if Steph isn't that number 1 scoring option in these 2 series, and he leads them to a win over both those franchises, that he isn't a top 5 player of all time, because he definitely is to me. But anyway, here's my stance on the matchup, and I don't want to sound too biased as a Lakers fan and a LeBron fan also to an extent, but just listen, here's my take. Steph, to me, he never really has proved to be a better player than LeBron James in the matchups that they've had in an entire playoff series. I mean, 2015, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love are both injured in that series. Kevin Love goes down against the Boston Celtics in that Eastern Conference Finals, and Kyrie was injured in that Game 1. LeBron was obviously that number 1 option, and serving second was Timofey Mozgov. Yep, Mozgov. LeBron averaged 35.8 points that series with 13.3 rebounds, 8.8 assists against a fully healthy Warriors team who won 67 games that season, and LeBron forced that team to 6 games. Then in 2016, the Cavs beat a 73-9 Warriors team. LeBron averaged damn near 30, 11.3 rebounds, 9 assists, and he shot 49.4% from the floor and 37% from deep. So that's 1-1, LeBron and Steph. But, I don't know, LeBron lost in that 2015 finals, but I don't think you can kind of use that against LeBron.
Cleveland is a city of champions once again, NBA champions. Cleveland! This is for you!
2017, Steph and KD had to team up with a prime Klay and Draymond to beat LeBron James after 2016. Their structure as a defensive unit with prime Klay, Draymond and KD in that series was immaculate, but at the end of the day, it took KD to join the Warriors for them to come back and win that year. And then to cap it off, 2018. I mean, this is arguably the worst supporting cast an NBA franchise has ever had in an NBA Finals appearance. Rodney Hood and Jordan Clarkson fielded as second and third options, and the fact LeBron made the finals with this team that barely played together in that second half of the season, it's pretty admirable. In a team sport context, I think this matters because once again, you can't tell me that Steph Curry outplayed LeBron in that series. I mean, LeBron did everything he possibly could and gave him that best chance of winning at least one game. He posted 34 points, 10 assists, 8.5 rebounds, and Steph Curry wasn't the finals MVP of that series, it was Kevin Durant. To me, I feel like the NBA fandom world puts together excuses for guys like Joel Embiid not being able to make it past the second round, and even Jokic to an extent only making the Western Conference Finals once. But then when you got a guy like LeBron who's been there 10 times, it's mostly about how he's only won 4 and lost the 6. But then when you break it down, it's not always so one-eyed. I mean, he did all he could and put up historic numbers, but he just couldn't get that final result. And like Giannis said, it doesn't make him a failed season, to me at least. In terms of who I have winning this series, I have the Lakers in 7. I think AD is way too much for Kayvon Looney and Draymond Green to handle. He's just too big and he's arguably playing like the best big man in the world out there right now. And although I rate the Warriors depth chart more than the Lakers, with Poole, Kuminga, Moody, Dante DiVincenzo, GP Jr., I just don't think they get utilised as well as they should. And to me, this forces guys like Andrew Wiggins, who's still kind of getting into the flow of the offense at the moment, missing that time before that Kings series, to kind of be that LeBron stopper. And I don't think that's going to end well. So I guess my stance on the whole LeBron James vs Steph Curry legacy-defying matchup this series, I think, look, if Steph wins this series and he outplays a 40-year-old LeBron and wins a ring personally, I still don't think he surpasses LeBron all time, but I could definitely see how he'd widely be considered by many people higher than LeBron. I know that sounds crazy, but a 3-1 finals record and winning this series and potentially going to the NBA Finals, hey, I think that's a pretty good resume. And to me, that's why this makes this series so legacy defying. If you haven't already, please subscribe because we want to continue to post content every single day. For now, we'll catch you guys later.